Well, hey everybody, we are Arbour season and we're gonna show you today how we change our toilet, because that's one of the biggest questions we get all the time is how does a composting toilet work? Where do you put your poop? How do you clean it? How long does it last? We're gonna talk about all of those things today.
First things first is that we like to use dehydrated coconut core bricks. You can order them off of Amazon. It's like $30 for a box of, I think, 10 of them, which lasts us almost a whole year. You can use peat moss as well, but you just have to change it more often because whatever is in it is like more likely to attract bugs, which is gross. Heidi, that's the wrong key. It's not that one. It's this one. So we store our coconut core out here in just a cardboard box. I use 2 bricks. This is like the perfect amount to fill up our toilet with this composting material, like right to exactly where it needs to be. So no guesswork, no measuring. The next step is that we need to hydrate these before you put them in the toilet. It's a bit of a process, but it's not too bad, and we only have to do it like probably once a month, maybe a little bit less than that.
So sorry about it being so loud in here with the air conditioner, but it's way too hot to turn that thing off, so we're keeping it on.
So under here is where we keep this container, which is what I use to hydrate the coconut core. It also, it's multi-purpose. Sometimes when it's hot outside, I fill it up with water, kind of like a little swimming pool that the kids can play with. The trick to this is trying to break it into smaller pieces because then it hydrates quicker. You really could just put these in water and like measure it out perfectly and let them hydrate on their own, but it takes so much longer, and I like to get things done quickly, so I put in a little bit of extra elbow grease. It always pays off. This is just dehydrated coconut fiber. It's organic, natural, and it like lasts forever. You don't have to worry about it expiring or leaving it in storage for too long, so it's pretty great. This is the fun part because it doesn't look like a whole lot, but once it starts hydrating, it expands a lot. It usually takes about a couple liters of water to hydrate this properly. You don't want it to be too wet because you don't want the environment in the toilet to be too moist, because then things don't compost properly, but you want to make sure that it's moist enough that you don't have any more big chunks left. So, here we go. And I usually do a little bit of water at a time, but you can like see it expanding already. It looks so cool. Isn't that cool? I love this part.
I've never seen this before.
Really? Once you start hydrating it, it's also much easier to break into smaller pieces. And it's very exfoliating. My hands are always so soft after this. I'm gonna put a little bit more water in, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes and just kind of absorb some of that water before I try to break up the last few big dry clumps. Look at how much that's expanded. Like, it was just a little bit in this corner over here, now this whole thing is full.
So it is super important to use gloves when you're changing out the toilet, because you don't want to touch anything that you shouldn't be touching. So we're gonna use some gloves, and we're gonna dump the composting toilet dirt, because I guess the poop turns into dirt, I don't know. But we're dumping that into a garbage bag in which we throw away. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna disconnect the toilet. By the way, we're using the Nature's Head composting toilet because it is awesome. There's one on this side too. And now we take off the vent. So this vent actually vents it outside of the bus, so it never smells in here. And then this little wire right here is the fan that continually is going, so that it takes all the smell, throws it outside of the bus. So no worries on it smelling in here.
Just don't stand next to the silver vent on the side of our bus.
Don't do that. We're gonna lift this toilet up and take it outside. It's the worst part of the whole process because it is heavy.
We have an obstacle course going on over here from all the stuff we took out.
All right, so you lift it up by taking these things off, you'll match it, lift it up, and there's all of our poop. And so we take the pee bucket, and we go find a place and we dump it. Come with me.
Always gain permission before you do something like this, or you can find a toilet at a rest area off of the highway. You can use a friend's toilet in their house, although warn them that it might get a little bit smelly if you do that. But we have permission to do what we're doing right now, so it's okay.
It's preferred that you really do this when it's not about to storm all over you. All right, so this top part slides right off.
Lovely.
Put the bag right over top. You dump it. I like to find like a nearby stick.
Not a faraway stick.
To kind of move things around, to break it up so it's easier to
Get out.
Get the rest of this out.
Here comes the rain.
We throw this in the garbage.
And it's totally legal. How do you like them apples?
Well, think about it. You throw away your dog poop, you know?
You can also buy compostable bags if you want to like really compost. And so that's a pretty cool option if you want to be able to actually like, I think you can technically like bury those under the ground and it's legal and it just turns into dirt, which is pretty sweet.
We pour in the clean dirt all over the place.
Everywhere, because it's about to start raining. And you know that it's at the right level if you have your handle like level, and the composting, like the coconut core, should be kind of like resting right on top of the level of the dirt.
You return your pee bucket.
We call it the liquids bin. That's what it should be called. Liquids bin.
Take the top of your toilet, put it back on, and then you close it. Then you wash your hands. Hiya!
Just in time to not get struck by lightning. Back through the obstacle course. Obstacles.
Then we return the air vent, plug it back in. Then we put these screws back in to hold it down. And the other side. And just like that, we have a brand new toilet ready to poop in.
Brand new. Stop
whatever we want.
That.
Okay, so Emily doesn't like it when I say poop and pee and things like that.
Not in videos.
But I will say, there is something said about when I was trying to look up how to do these kind of things before I got in the school bus, nobody really went in depth. I didn't see the process 100% because I think people were afraid of putting all that in a video. But this video specifically, I'm doing that on purpose because this is the one video that you see that kind of makes it really
this is like the reality, because all the videos that are out there currently are like these immaculate, like never been used before, perfectly clean composting toilets. This is what it looks like when you are living in your bus full time and you're using your toilet every single day with a family of 4 or more, and you have to change it out because it's full and you don't have time to scrape everything out and get it completely clean. And that's a good point. That is the reality of it. So you just saw what we literally do when we change our composting toilet, unless we have a whole day to like really go in. And we've only done that a couple of times. So this is the real deal, y'all.
And I also want to show you one last thing before we move on, and that's exactly how we vent it, because that could be one of those things that you're kind of like, well, you didn't really go into depth about that, and I'm converting my bus. Where do I even start? It was actually one of the easiest parts that I found, and so I'll show you. So right here, we drilled a hole in the wall, and it goes right outside to the other side of the bus, and I'll show you the outside as well, where we have it vented out. And then this is the outside, so this is where we vent it out. And that's what it looks like on the outside. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and the nitty-gritties of it. And if you made it through the whole entire video, good on you, because it's not the funnest or the most pleasant thing to talk about. Also, I would really encourage you to pick a day where it's not pouring outside to, you know, change out your toilet. Maybe wait till a nice sunny day. But we're supposed to post this video in 1.5 days, so we have to take the best opportunity we can get, which was right now. This is my greatest friend on the entire planet. He's Canadian, if you can't tell, right? Yes, A, yeah, A. So I'm gonna sit in this coffee shop that Ben created with his own 2 hands, and I'm gonna edit this video.
You got